Systemware Content Cloud has a variety of features to help our customer base meet their compliance needs. In this presentation, I'm going to show you how our data masking feature works at a very high level, and we'd love the opportunity to discuss in more detail the full-featured compliance module available with Systemware Content Cloud. You can also learn more about how Content Cloud can satisfy your regulatory compliance needs on our website, systemware.com. Let's get started. Content Cloud features a full-screen masking capability that can be triggered based on user activity. Here I'm viewing a document, and you'll notice that very quickly the screen is obscured by an overlay. This is used in a situation where you might leave your office or workstation and you don't want somebody walking by and seeing what's on the screen. The overlay uses a configurable timer, in this case set to 5 seconds of inactivity. So after I move my mouse, I'll be able to view the screen again. I walk away, and then 5 seconds later, the overlay appears again. Obviously, in a production scenario, you might want to make it wait a little longer than that, but for the purpose of the demo, I just set it to 5 seconds. So now let's look at a report. You'll notice there are some account numbers and personally identifiable information on this report. For certain reports, you may determine that some viewers need to see the information, and some other viewers cannot see that information. It would be inefficient to store 2 copies of the same report in the system, one with the information and one without. Luckily, Content Cloud can take care of this for us. For this example, I'll go ahead and do a customer search, and let's search for a particular customer. Here we've searched for Alicia Smith, and we're going to go ahead and look for Alicia's statements. You'll notice how I have quite a variety of statements for Alicia for various dates. I'm going to select one of these. For the demo, I have delivery set up in a couple of different ways. It may be determined that if I was sending this statement to Alicia, perhaps via email, I might want to redact or mask out certain information on the statement. We might want to get rid of the account number, for example. We might want to get rid of the tax ID number and various other items in the report. However, there might be another recipient or system that would need to have access to that information. Because the original document is stored with all the information intact, we're able to then deliver it to that particular recipient with all of the information available. All of this functionality is all based on permissions and security. Now, another thing you may want to mask, you can see when I do a search for a particular customer, and on the screen we see the account number, we see the social security number, or tax ID. Potentially, you may want to mask these fields for some users as well. You might have a particular employee or role that cannot see that information. Additionally, you may have another group that are allowed to see it, but you don't want to run the risk of having somebody walk by their computer and notice it on there. And then you may have another group of employees who can determine for themselves whether they see it or not. So I'll go ahead and log out as this user, and I'll log in as another user. And now we'll go ahead and do the exact same search. You'll notice in the results list, the information is masked, and this particular user has no option to see that information. Let me show you one of the other scenarios I mentioned, where the user can determine whether they want to see the information. So I'll go ahead and log in as another user and do the same search. And now you'll notice that in the results list there are orange and white lines on the masked column. That's indicating to the user that they can hover over a masked item to unmask the text, and we can see the information, but then it masks it out again when their cursor is not hovering over that field. Again, all of these features are managed through permissions and security. Let's go ahead and log in as the last user here, and we'll do the same search. You'll notice I have the hover option we showed before, but you'll also notice there's an unmask option here. So as a user with the proper permissions, I can determine that, hey, my office door is locked, nobody's coming in behind me, and I want to go ahead and rather than having to hover over it, I can turn on the visibility of that information so I don't have to hover over each individual field. And again, each of those levels of masking are managed and configured based on permissions and security. So as I said earlier, this was just a very high-level view of different data masking options we have within Systemware Content Cloud to help you with your content compliance needs. We definitely would like to talk to you in more detail about these offerings and other things we can do to help you meet those needs. Thank you very much for watching.